Rise up, O flame, by thy lights glowing, bring to our beauty wisdom and joy. Father Sun looked down from his heavenly throne in the blue sky and watched as 4 brothers battled it out to rule the earth. Now, the oldest brother lived in a cold ice palace in the northern skies. He came on his snow-white horse with an icy spear and robes of swirling white snows, and his beard was white with icicles, and his eyes were black and cold. As he arrived, his messenger, the north wind, cried out, "Make way for the king, the ruler of the whole world." As the Ice King came, all the earth was covered in a blanket of snow. All the brooks and rivers froze solid, and all the animals crept down below the earth to sleep in their burrows. But the Ice King had a foe, for the west wind came as a messenger next, warm and filled with drops of rain. And the west wind was a messenger for the youngest of the brothers. This brother came in a suit of pale green and a wreath with new green leaves. He breathed his warm breath, and everything melted. The earth became soft and warm. The birds returned, the animals awoke, humans plowed the fields and planted seeds in their gardens. The earth became alive with sprouting buds and tender green shoots, new leaves. Baby birds hatched out of their eggs. Kittens and puppies were born in the barns, and chicks, and the woodland animals too. Little babies were born and began to grow. But before these young plants and animals even had a chance to grow up, from the south came a new army. This army led the way for the 3rd brother coming from the southern skies. His breath was as hot as fire, and he had fine robes of shining yellow. His hair blazed like the sun's rays. He had eyes as blue as the sky. Now his helper was the hot southern wind, and he commanded the hot little breezes that would shoot like little flames over the earth and scorch and burn it wherever they touched. Now there was a long battle between the hot brother and the gentle warmth of the youngest brother that brought these plants and animals to life. For days and days they battled. The hot wind blew, but the brother from the west brought his raindrop soldiers to fight that heat. Sometimes it seemed as if the hot one was winning. The brooks and rivers dried up. The leaves became brown, flowers wilted, animals became so thirsty, and the humans' fields and their gardens withered in the heat. then the raindrop army would come, and all would come back fresh to life. But then, before you know it, those hot winds would return with even greater fury. Now, their battle brought good deeds to the earth, for fruits were formed in the flowers that drank those raindrops. The hot winds made warm, ripe, and juicy fruits. Berries for the birds, carrots for the rabbits, nuts for the squirrels, and corn and wheat for the humans, all ripened in this battle. So all the beings on earth were quite happy, but not these two brothers. Now, eventually the fourth brother came. Now, he came growling in from the eastern skies. His eyes were cool and gray. His cloak was orange and brown, and his armies were the cold winds and the frost fairies. And his general was the biting eastern wind. So these chill winds chased those hot southern winds away and turned all of the warm raindrops to sleet. The leaves, the fruits, the seed pods, they all turned orange and brown and fell to the ground. As these chill winds came, the animals burrowed down into their holes. The birds flew away to the south, leaving bare trees and empty nests. The ponds frosted over, the grasses turned brown, and the earth became cold and sad. Now, the north wind came back, leading the way for the Ice King, and again called out, "Make way for the king, the ruler of the world." And now the Ice King came as a surprise in the night. With his freezing breath and snowy soldiers, he drove the eastern brother away, covered all again in snow, froze those ponds from just a bit frosty to solid ice, and put all the world to sleep. Now, year after year, these brothers fought to rule the earth, but none of them won. Finally, they agreed, we should go to Father Sun, for none of us can win. And Father Sun will appoint a king to rule all life on earth. So they went to the sun. Now Father Sun had been watching and had seen how each of these brothers brought certain good things to the earth. And so the sun spoke. No one shall rule, but each in turn. You bring good if you do not stay too long. So each will rule in his season and then give his place to another in order. First, the one who awakens all of life and allows it to spring to life. This brother shall be called Spring. Then the hot one who ripens the seeds in their fruits, this brother shall be called the Summer. After the summer, the cool one from the east who blows the seeds down to the earth shall be called the Fall. for this is when the leaves and the seeds fall down to the earth. And lastly, the cold one, who freezes the earth into a deep sleep and covers all with snow. Then that one shall be called winter. And lastly, winter shall rule in the time of rest, until spring awakens all again. So the four brothers agreed that this was the best way that they could all rule and yet have terms in order. So it happens that when they share in ruling the earth may work and it may rest. It may wake and it may sleep according to the seasons. Snip, snap, snap.